Not long ago, I held mis and disinformational beliefs about COVID-19 and the ability to operate schools safely. Along with many of you, I learned a lot over the last few months and believe unequivocally that we can open schools robustly and safely to county health guidelines. I believe we can do this. I believe we must do this. I believe we can keep everyone safe. So now, this is what's going on in our community, not the national news, right here in the WCCUSD. And please let me share with you some of the sentiments that have been shared with me over the last several weeks by my constituents. My kid has two parents at home that love her and are ready to help with the means and the will to do it. Yet our adjusted daughter, 10 years old, who makes straight A's, is planning to commit suicide. She was not like this before all of this isolation. It was one thing when every kid in our nation and pretty much the whole world was going through this together, but things have changed and it's time to act. It breaks my heart to see my kid isolated and considering suicide because of this inaction. I understand trust has been plaguing our district for years, but please don't penalize our kids for past relationships. Please just make a plan. And another, as a family, we literally cannot make it work anymore. I am an essential healthcare provider in a completely underfunded public hospital. I am a union member. I've gone in every day as scheduled since the pandemic was declared a global health crisis. And our family is literally at the breaking point. We are lucky that my husband can work from home and he can't be with our fifth grader during the day, and she's really struggling. Her teacher has basically disappeared, assigning more and more asynchronous tasks as the weeks have gone by. My first grader has now spent longer in remote school than she has in real school. She receives between 25 and 45 minutes of live instruction per day. This is not education, but she's doing okay for the most part. She is generally happy and seems fairly content, although she talks daily about her desire to return to school. I wish I could say the same for my third grader. He is almost unrecognizable from the child that walked out of school the last time a year ago. Angry and withdrawn, he has little interest in participating in remote school and frequently lashes out at all of us in frustration. And finally, my bright and affable child won't come out of the closet. So what's holding us back? It's a lack of trust. The adults here seem to not have the trust to open schools safely and robustly, and the following indicates this. I teach in Richmond. We've been hit hard. While we see an end in sight, many of our flatland neighbors have had families decimated by COVID, and we're hesitant to send ourselves back into potential danger. For many of us, the working conditions are horrible. My school is underserved and underfunded and has been for years. A lot of promises have been broken. The district has failed to deliver for us time and time again. It's just not a place that we are eager to return to yet, and I'd rather endure this impossible Zoom instead of coming back to school. So for those of you who are asking how every other district has opened around us and we have not, and many of you are asking that, they have one thing in place that we really do not, and it's trust. Although Archana Chardudi, Dean of Chicago Medical School, recently said, we need to rely on science and not emotions to make these decisions, expert guidance can get our children back to school safely. Keeping them out will result in irreparable harm to their education, particularly for minority children and those from lower socioeconomic backgrounds. This is true. For now, we have a crisis and we need to work through it. This night was long and it was arduous. I'm asking everybody to come back to the table and get closer to the spirit of SB 86. We're at March 18th. If we delay much longer, we'll get very little, if nothing, out of this year.